What frustrates the plans of fascists? This gun in my hand.
Regina, the queenpin of crime, strides through a dimly lit warehouse examining industrial machines. Her gloved hand plays across the top of a drill press, a grinder, a lathe.
Finally, the manufacturing equipment is in place at my secret weapons factory. I'll be able to supply my soldiers with munitions and firearms without stealing them. The Parabellum City government is now fully under my control. After bribing and intimidating officials, secretly installing bureaucrats in City Hall, and thugs in the police force. 1939 will be my best year yet.
Is she gone? Great. Then I can stick this firecracker in the drill press and blow it up. They won't be able to make gun barrels for weeks.
Billy, set that down.
Falk Zildjian, what's an indomitable hero like you, by virtue of the fact that you carry a gun, doing in a place like this?
Billy, please, set it down carefully on the ground and walk toward me.
All right, but what's the big deal?
Billy, that's not a firecracker. That's an actual stick of dynamite.
Aw, geez, Falk, it's just a prop.
You shouldn't play with those things, even small firecrackers, especially in the territory of Regina's criminal organization.
But Falk...
No buts. I'm glad you're taking an interest in fighting crime, but Regina's much too dangerous.
Falk Zildjian, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing, Regina. But first, why do you sound funny?
You mean the reverberation due to speaking in this large warehouse?
No, you sound different.
You mean the weird acoustics of Parabellum City that makes everyone...
She's not Regina, Falk.
Perhaps you'll recognize me when I remove my domino mask. See?
Oh, Jenny! I'm sorry I mistook you for a criminal.
Please, Falk, use my crime-fighting name, the Infomatron. You're going to give away my secret identity to Billy.
That's okay, Mrs. Zapata. I'm going to grow up to be a narrator just like my dad. A narrator has to know all kinds of things the audience and characters don't know, even things Falk doesn't know, like what's going to happen next in every episode.
Billy, do you know the secret identity of Regina and other villains around Parabellum City?
No.
If you did, you'd tell me, right? So I could bring them to justice?
Yes.
Well, Infomatron, that explains why your voice didn't sound like Regina's.
The Infomatron has a different style of dress from Regina, too.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not a hussy.
We're recording a commercial, Falk.
Who are we shilling for this time?
No one will profit from today's message. It's more in the way of an announcement, as a service to the public.
Infomatron got a hold of a booklet that the Office of Strategic Services is going to publish. The Simple Sabotage Field Manual. Here, have a copy, Falk. It says right here, Simple Sabotage does not require specially prepared tools or equipment. It is executed by an ordinary citizen who may or may not act individually and without the necessity for active connection with an organized group, and it is carried out in such a way as to involve a minimum danger of injury, detection, and reprisal.
That's right, Billy. The manual continues. It is based on universal opportunities to make faulty decisions, to adopt a non-cooperative attitude, and to induce others to follow suit. Making a faulty decision may be simply a matter of placing tools in one spot instead of another. A non-cooperative attitude may involve nothing more than creating an unpleasant situation among one's fellow workers, engaging in bickerings, or displaying surliness or stupidity.
If we had been able to finish that first skit, our message was that acts of sabotage don't need to be dramatic attacks like blowing up machinery. By means of simple sabotage, ordinary people living under authoritarian regimes can pick away at the swine. Even if it's not going to destroy the Nazis right away, it can slow them down, make it more costly to operate, force them to expend more resources, or just demoralize them as they waste time dealing with trivial obstacles.
What's that you said about infiltration of the city government? We removed all the robot imposters and reptilians, haven't we?
That was just to give listeners within our area a sense of what it might be like to live under fascists. Regina's criminal organization does not have control of the city government yet, but there are other places where people are living under dictators, or warlords, or oligarchs right now.
You mean like that recent case where one nation attacked another without provocation, making no pretense of defending themselves, claiming to liberate the people who live there and acting on their behalf?
Precisely.
Germany invading Poland?
Yes, very good, Billy. What you're doing here sounds like important work. Any country that threatens its neighbors, destroys its democratic institutions, and attacks its own citizens must be stopped.
Especially regimes with unaccountable secret police, jailing and disappearing large swaths of people, using their military to kidnap and murder, committing acts of piracy in international waters. Why, did you know that citizens are hiding in their homes right now, afraid to go out because they'll be jailed based on their ethnicity?
You mean nations where all branches of the government are captured by the authoritarians and they stop providing services to anyone but members of their clique?
Exactly, funneling money to their cronies, either by tax breaks or government contracts. Meanwhile, people experience skyrocketing inflation.
A dictator persecuting and eliminating his political opponents, threatening journalists, ignoring the legislature and courts, abandoning due process.
We're still talking about Germany?
Sure, let's say Germany, for example.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I see here the manual says, acts of simple sabotage, multiplied by thousands of citizen saboteurs, can be an effective weapon against the enemy. Slashing tires, draining fuel tanks, starting fires, starting arguments, acting stupidly, short-circuiting electric systems, abrading machine parts, will waste materials, manpower, and time. Occurring on a wide scale, simple sabotage will be a constant and tangible drag on the war effort of the enemy.
Little kids shouldn't slash tires, though.
That's right, Billy.
It might be tough to stab through the sidewall of a tire with your Hopalong Cassidy pocket knife. Plus, tires can be patched pretty easily. What's better is you get tin snips or wire cutters and clip off the valve stems on at least 2 tires. They probably only carry 1 spare, so they'll be stuck.
Quite right. Even if they had some futuristic aerosol device that could inject foam sealant into the flat tire and simultaneously inflate it, they wouldn't be able to do that without the valve stem.
What you're talking about sounds like science fiction. There's nothing like that in 1939.
Never mind, Falk. Listeners will catch our meaning.
Another section of the manual says, use materials which appear to be innocent. A knife or a nail file can be carried normally on your person. Either is a multi-purpose instrument for creating damage. Matches, pebbles, hair, salt, nails, and dozens of other destructive agents can be carried or kept in your living quarters without exciting any suspicion whatever.
My pockets are practically bursting at the seams right now, full of matchbooks, pebbles, hair, salt, and nails. Does that stuff have some magical effect when you put them together, like the ingredients in a mojo bag?
Oh, Billy, some of the things you say are so delightfully innocent. There's an expression I learned during my thorough study of the American Civil War. Bless your heart. It sounds pious, but it's actually a backhanded accusation of naivete to the person being blessed.
Yeah, it's like you're calling them a simpleton. So what's the hair and salt for?
You can drop those items into the motor of a car or manufacturing device to wear it out or grind things to a halt.
Or I can start fires with the matches.
You should leave arson to the grown-ups.
Ah, gee.
Say, I heard you were auditioning someone new as a narrator to give Bill a break, although I didn't know it was for this commercial.
Yes, the man we auditioned was a rascal with whom you are familiar, known as the Titleist. His voice is pleasant enough, but we're letting him go. He's too difficult to work with.
I don't say sabotage. You say sabotage. I say sabotage.
The manual says, jam paper, bits of wood, hairpins, and anything else that will fit into the locks of all unguarded entrances to public buildings.
Or car doors. I heard a way you can make improvised landmines with a shotgun shell, a nail, and a flat rock. All you gotta do is dig a shallow hole.
Let's leave that for the advanced sabotage commercial.
All right. Well, how about this? Let's say you work for an airline or railroad or a car rental place, and a skunk breath fascist comes in. I bet there's 100 things a clerk could do to mess up their plans. Give them tickets to the wrong destination, or drain most of the oil out of the car.
Not all of it, because then the engine would seize up moments after it starts. Leave just enough so it will run out when they're 5 or 10 minutes down the road.
Or if you're a ticket taker on a train, you can give them the same treatment that fascists give regular people. Tickets, please? Oh, this isn't a valid ticket. You say you're authorized to ride for free because you belong to some federal agency? Let's see your ID. No, this looks forged. Get off before I call the railroad bull. Don't start a fight with them, just delay them and aggravate them.
If they're purchasing tickets from you or making any kind of transaction, you can say, "Oh, our computers are down. I'm so sorry."
What's a computer?
How can I put this? When a switchboard and an abacus really love each other.
Bless your heart, Mrs. Zapata. If you're going to tell me a science fiction story, at least put some ray guns and Martians in it.
For those who work in a cafe or restaurant where you might be serving fascists, I need hardly suggest all the possibilities. Don't bother expectorating in their food. It might give you satisfaction, but it probably won't harm them. Unless you got a cold. And just like with draining oil from a car, don't put anything in their food that they'll figure out right away, like glass or metal shavings. Use something they won't smell or taste that puts them out of commission later. And now a commercial for Lux Soap Flakes. Just kidding, but you get the picture. Make it something that could plausibly be an accident, nothing too exotic. If that's too dangerous, or if they're giving you the eyeball from the start, just spill water on their food, or in their soup or their coffee. Yuck their yum at every opportunity. If they're getting it to go, poke a little hole in the bottom of the paper bag you give them, or along the seam so it'll rip while they're walking away. Whatever you do, take your sweet time doing it. The longer these monsters spend waiting in your cafe or place of business, the less time they have for assaulting decent citizens.
All that sounds great, but what about folks who can't hear this on the radio? Are you going to airdrop printed sabotage pamphlets over regions ruled by authoritarians?
There's no need. Everyone can find the Simple Sabotage Field Manual in the archive.
Is that part of a university or some institution?
No, silly. It's an organization. You know, the archive. ARCHIVE, period. ORG.
I know how to spell organization, Billy. I still don't get which archive you mean.
He that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Are you quoting the Bible?
Yes, Matthew 11:15. And while we're on that subject, Falk, have you accepted the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal...
Oh, time for a word from our sponsor, kiddies. Take it away, Bill.
Are you tired of slot machines that dispense fruit gum as prizes? Or the stark designs of standard slots? Then we've got just the thing to pep up your playing. You've probably heard of the spectacular film to be released this year, The Wizard of Oz. It's a remake, so everyone knows it will be lousy, destroying our childhood memories. How could they possibly replace the original? Well, now you can try your luck on The Wonderful Wizard of Oz slot machine, based on the 1910 silent version of the film. Instead of fruits or bells, each spinning reel shows images of your favorite Oz characters, like Scarecrow, Mombi, the Cowardly Lion, the Rusty Woodsman, and Hank the Mule. Or perhaps your favorite newspaper comic strip or cliffhanger serial characters will bring you luck. Pull the lever on Joe Palooka, Blondie, Dick Tracy, Secret Agent X9, Ace Drummond, Charlie Chan, Lash LaRue, Rin Tin Tin, Bila Lagoshi, Little Lulu, or Heathcliff and Catherine from Wuthering Heights. Losing your grocery money has never been such a cliffhanger, or so comical. Play our slot machines today. Feed the one-armed bandit responsibly. Gambling problem? Write to Consumer Information Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado 8 for a government pamphlet on activities to fill your time instead of gambling. But we don't want you to miss the main message of this commercial.
Play our slot machines today.
But don't gamble your life away.
Please gamble your life away.
No, don't do it.
Yes, do it.
We now return to This Wrench in My Gears, or for listeners residing within the British Commonwealth, This Spanner in My Works, episode 145 of This Gun in My Hand.
Here's a good one for you. If jackbooted thugs ask directions or want to know if you've seen any suspects in your neighborhood, resist the impulse to tell them to jump in a lake. Act like you're cooperating. Why, my gardener seems quite suspicious, and I can tell you exactly where he lives, officer. Then give him the address of some abandoned farmhouse 10 miles out of town. If authoritarian troops are swarming in your area, try calling your local police and report that you've seen a masked, armed thug impersonating a policeman. They hate that, and it's completely true. Then stand back and watch the clowns trying to assert authority over each other. Show me your papers. No, you show me your papers. For any type of communication system, you can gum up their works by what's known as a DNS attack. What's that? It stands for Denying Nazis Service. Get a few friends and make repeated telephone calls or telegraph messages to the fascists until their switchboard is flooded and legitimate communications are delayed or can't get through at all. Here's one straight from the manual. Anyone can break up a showing of an enemy propaganda film by putting 2 or 3 dozen large moths in a paper bag. Take the bag to the movies with you, put it on the floor in an empty section of the theater as you go, and leave it open. The moths will fly out and climb into the projector beam so that the film will be obscured by fluttering shadows. We've given examples of actions that average citizens can take, but it's also possible that members inside these horrible organizations recognize how harmful and dangerous they are. If you don't want them to succeed, but you can't quit your job, the possibilities for internal sabotage are limitless. For one thing, when you're involved in planning meetings or someone's issuing commands, get talkative. Tell them a funny thing you heard on the radio last night, or the kind of story your uncle tells over and over again about some hunting trip he took. Was it in 1919 or was it in 21? No, the big blizzard happened in 21. Let me tell you about that blizzard. If you see a group of secret policemen, you can play the part of concerned citizen. Sow division by reporting suspicious behavior among their own members. Excuse me, sir. What is that one agent doing, standing off from the group? I saw him speaking and laughing with one of the protesters. Is that normal? I heard they offer a signing bonus if you get a job with the brown shirts. Why not join up with them, act enthusiastic, and be the biggest sad sack screw-up they've ever seen?
The manual says, if possible, join or help organize a group for presenting employee problems to the management.
Sure, form a union. Then when the authoritarian regime falls, stay in the union. It's good, actually.
To be honest, I found this a bit concerning, Billy. The agents who wrote this sabotage manual for the OSS sound like they think of work as organizing or unions as a technique to sabotage any viable business, even those that operate under democratic governments.
Sure, a capitalist enterprise is just an authoritarian system on a smaller scale. We should resist them too.
I think this is another topic for a future commercial. But organizing against authoritarian governments is indisputably appropriate.
I'm just saying the same techniques work to jam up your boss, so why not...
Put a pin in it, Billy. We're running out of time, as well as material to quote from the field manual. Do you have any last suggestions?
To everyone listening, please, take care of yourself, dear. Fighting the good fight and resisting fascists can be exhausting. Treat yourself every now and then.
Steal treats from the jerks if you get a chance.
Ooh, I thought of a better way. You don't need to go to all this trouble. All you need is an armed populace.
Really?
Widespread personal firearm ownership by all able-bodied citizens. As soon as they see their leader acting like a tyrant, they'll rise up and put him down.
But Falk, what if they don't agree that he's a tyrant? What if the tyrant makes empty promises of benefits for the majority of his subjects and targets some minority group as scapegoats for all their problems? He gets them fighting amongst themselves like rats in a shaken cage, instead of attacking the real source of their problems. Some people might rise up, but others would feel the best thing for them personally is keeping this tyrant in place.
No. See, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Oh, I get it. That means the only thing that stops a tyrant who has military forces that dominate land, air, and sea with weapons that level whole cities is a good citizenry with small arms.
Now you've got it. When a person holds a firearm, it makes you a good guy and gives you the ability to instantly and objectively identify who the bad guys are, including politicians or dictators, so you can stop them.
Oh, Falk, bless your heart, honey child.
This Wrench in My Gears, episode 145 of This Gun in My Hand, was maliciously wrecked by Rob Northrop. This episode and all others are available on YouTube with automatically generated closed captions of dialogue. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, archives, and to buy my books, such as Sisyphus Eat Your Heart Out, available in paperback and ebook from Amazon. What do I use on slot machines to avoid developing a gambling problem? This gun in my hand.